This class is going to be a sequence of standing poses that is primarily aimed at opening the backs of your legs, the outer legs and back of hips, as well as your lower back. This class is going to be mainly suitable for people that have a deep understanding of the standing poses, as there won't be a lot of instruction involved in this class. So when you're ready, let's start in downward facing dog. All right, once you're in down dog, just adjust the hands and feet to the appropriate distance apart and pull up on the front of your thighs. Cycle your breath in and out through your nose. And just keep settling in. Now on your next exhale, step your right foot forward between your hands. Turn and pivot on both your feet so you're facing the long edge of your mat. Halfway lift as you inhale. And then fold forward, exhale. Do a standing straddle fold. Step your hands in between your feet. Firm the muscles of your legs up and release your side waist and back of neck. Head down towards the floor. Lift part way up, inhale. Grab your hips, exhale. Stand up, inhale. Pause for the exhale. Set up triangle pose to the right. Stretch your arms out. And then exhale into triangle pose. Put more weight in your back foot. Put more strength in your back leg. Stand up, inhale. Second side, set the feet, lift your chest for an in-breath, and then exhale, go into it. Second side. Your left sitting bone, steer it in the direction of your back foot. The big toe mound on your front foot, drive it into the floor like there's a spike on it. Then stand up for this in-breath. Parallel feet, step or jump your feet in on the out-breath. Mountain pose. Dig through your heels. Firm up through your legs, stand tall. Take a breath or two. Now we're going to use triangle pose as an entry for half moon pose, as well as the exit. So take a wide stance. Set up triangle pose to the right. And then on your next exhale, triangle pose. Take an in-breath here, and then shorten your stance on the out-breath and come into half moon pose. So steer your right sitting bone in the direction of your left heel. Push your right big toe mound down into the floor. Go back to triangle pose. stand up and parallel your feet. Set your feet for triangle pose to the left. Lift your chest on an in-breath. Go into triangle pose on your out-breath. Half moon pose, come on up. Triangle pose, come back. Stand up, parallel your feet. Mountain pose. Step or jump in. Drive down through your heels, stand tall. Let's do that again. Take a wide stance. Set up triangle pose to the right. Let's take extra breaths once we get in there. Triangle pose. Half moon pose. Triangle pose. Stand up, parallel your feet. Set your feet for the second side of triangle pose. Come into it on an exhale. Half moon pose. Triangle pose. Stand up, parallel your feet, mountain pose. Couple breaths here. Take a wide stance. Next one, known as Parshvo Tanasana. So rotate your feet to the right, but make sure you rotate that back foot in like 70 or 80 degrees and do a reverse prayer. Lift your chest and then fold forward. Reverse prayer or modify it. If you need your hands on the floor, bring your hands down for safety. But if it's just the fact that it's harder to not have your hands on the floor, well then challenge it a little bit as long as you're safe. Stand up. Parallel your feet. Rotate your feet for the second side. Ground through your back heel. Lift your chest with an in-breath. Fold over your left leg on the out-breath. All right, stand up with the inhale. Parallel your feet and then step or jump your feet in as you exhale, mountain pose. Dig through your heels, stand tall. Take a wide stance again. Revolved triangle pose to the right. Turn your feet to the right like you had for the last pose. Stretch your left arm up as you inhale. Exhale. Revolve triangle pose. Bring your left hand down. Stretch your right arm up. Rotate. Stand up, inhale. Parallel your feet and grab your hips, exhale. Second side. Stretch your right arm up. Revolve triangle pose, second side. Stretch your left arm up. Stand up. Next inhale, parallel your feet. Step or jump your feet in. Mountain pose again. Exhale. Push through your heels. Take a few breaths. Now the next one's going to be revolved half moon pose. We'll come into it from that, we'll use Parshvo Tanasana as an entry and exit point. Let's take a wide stance, set up the Parshvo Tanasana position to the right. Fold forward, but bring your hands down. Bend the front knee, shorten your stance, step your hands forward, and lift your back leg parallel to the floor. Now lift your shoulders almost as high as your hips. Let's go ahead and pull the palms together in front of the chest. Keep the chest lifting. Bring your left hand down, right arm up, revolved half moon. Bring your left hand down or right hand down. Step your left foot back. Fold over your front leg. Stand up, parallel your feet, and grab onto your hips. Take a deep breath there. Push down through your feet. Set up the second side. So turn your feet to the left. Fold forward, bring your hands down. Shorten your stance. Step your hands forward. And raise your back leg parallel-ish to the floor. Pull the palms together in front of your chest. Keep your chest lifting, and then bring your right hand down and your left arm up. Rotate your half moon pose. Bring your left hand down. Bring your back foot down. Fold over your front leg. Parshvo Tanasana variation again. Stand up, parallel both your feet. Step or jump your feet into the center of your mat. Mountain pose again. Stand tall. Now step your feet so they're about hip width apart and bend your knees. Standing figure four position. Bend your knees, move your hips back, cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Sit a little bit lower, fold forward, bring your forearms to your shin, or bring your hands down to the floor. Draw your hips back. Stand up. Feet hip width apart. Take some smooth, deep breaths. Let your blood regulate. Bend your knees. Let's set up side two. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Draw your hips back. Sit a little bit lower. And then bring your forearms down or your hands down to something. Stand up with an in-breath. Release both feet down on your out-breaths. Feet hip-width apart. Cycle your breath. Make sure you don't fall over or get too lightheaded. If you do, tuck your chin in towards your chest. See if that helps. All right, the next one you might need to repeat what we just did. Or bring your left leg into lotus position. If you have the lotus, then swing the left arm around the back, grab the foot and fold forward, or just fold forward without grabbing the foot. If the lotus position does not work, repeat the last pose. If you folded forward, lift part way up, bend that standing leg, and then stand all the way up. Release, come into mountain pose again. Ground both your feet. If you got lightheaded, tuck your chin into your chest. See if that helps out at all. Cycle your breath. And then side B. So left leg, half lotus or figure four. Don't be surprised if one leg works or one hip works and the other doesn't. Fold forward if you're folding forward. So if you're not able to do the lotus position with the fold, I'd prefer you did the figure four position with the fold. So repeat the last one. If you're folded, lift part way up, bend the standing leg, and then on the inhale, stand all the way up. Feet hip width apart, same idea. If you got lightheaded, tuck your chin in towards your chest, let the blood regulate, let the breath cycle deeply, smoothly. Don't try to change too much. Just let it play it as it lies. Okay, if your feet aren't hip width apart, separate your feet till they're hip width apart. Fold forward, grab your big toes, lift part way up, lengthen your spine. Fold forward, and then pull on your toes. Known as big toe pose. Draw your shoulders up, release the back of your neck. Now, if it makes sense to stay with your feet hip width apart, then definitely do. Otherwise, lift part way up, step your feet all the way together, legs all the way together, and then fold forward as you exhale. So Uttanasana with legs together. If your hamstrings are a little more on the, let's say, normal side, tighter side, then don't step your feet all the way together. Release the back of your neck. Lift part way, inhale. Grab your hips, exhale. Stand up, inhale. Release your hips, exhale. Stand in mountain pose. Gaze straight ahead.